Hello, this is Mandy, your local realtor in Surrey and Fraser Valley area. Today I want to talk about home buying process in BC. I'll cover most of the aspects, but if you have more questions or you want insights in the local market, please reach out to me. I'll list my contact information in the description box below. Thank you so much. So let's get started. Before we break down the buying process step by step, let me just quickly mention a new rules, anti-flipping rules. This new measure will be applied to residential properties sold on or after January 2021. So what's the difference before and after? Prior to this new measure, when someone buy and sell a property, the profit from it is considered capital gain, which means it's 50% taxable. Additionally, if that is your primary residence, it's tax exempt. So with this new measure, if a Canadian holding a residential property for less than 12 months, it's considered flipping. So the profit from this sale will be considered business gain, which is 100% taxable. So that's huge difference. I think every homeowner or potential home buyers should be mindful about that because, like I said, it's huge. You think you made 100 grand in 6 months? No, you don't. Government will tax you 100% on a business gain at your marginal rate. So that's the new anti-flipping rule. With that out of the way, let's move on to step number 1 of buying a home, and that would be saving up for down payment. In BC, the minimum down payment requirement is 5% if the home is under $500,000, and with 5 to 20% on down payment, you will need a mortgage insurance. For home that's over $1 million in BC, which is very common, the minimum down payment would be 20%. There's some government program for first-time home buyers, and that including incentive in share home equity with government, possibly exemption for a property transfer tax, home buyer plans that you can use your RSP, and then the newly proposed first home saving account. There are requirements and conditions that need to be met for these programs. Shoot me a message if you want to know more, and I'm sure be happy to get back to you on that. Step number 2, have a stable income and build up your credit score. This is what banks want to see. Banks like a history of stable, proven income. The longer, the better. And of course, if you have credit card debt or have a long overdue hydro bills or anything that will negatively impact your credit score, deal with that immediately. You don't want that to stay on your credit score, in short. Step 3, get pre-approved. Prepare all the documents needed and talk to your bank to find out how much you qualified. This goes without saying. It's very important to know your budget and then shop around within it. It's actually quite straightforward. You just need to gather all the information needed according to your bank, and cross fingers, hope the interest rate won't kill your dream. I do have a story to share here. One of my clients putting the offer got accepted, was just waiting for the home inspection report, and then he decided to finance a brand new car without telling me. I mean, of course, why he tell me? I'm just a realtor. He doesn't need my permission to buy a new car. Then you probably know what happened already. His bank declined his mortgage application because with additional $500 a month of car payment, he couldn't qualify for the loan anymore. He lost a deal. So the moral of the story, don't buy a car before you buy a home. One more thing I'd like to point out is that there's additional closing costs which you should be mindful of. It includes legal fees, property transfer tax, home inspection fees, just to name a few. Well, if you are one of the lucky guys with no budget limit, then kudos for you. You have my permission to do whatever you want. Now let's move on to step number 4. Decide where do you want to live. If you are a first-time home buyer in DC, you may be wondering where you should buy your home. Do you want to live in a city, the suburbs, or maybe you want a rural property, a house with a yard, or an apartment with a view of mountains? There are many things to consider when making this decision, such as your budget, lifestyle, and where you work. If you need access to public transit, you will want to live in an area that has good bus or SkyTrain service. If you have a family, you might want to buy a home in a neighborhood with good schools. The best way to figure out what's important to you is to write down a list of what is must-have for you and what is nice to have for you. Once you know what you are looking for, you can start narrowing down your search. If you're not sure where to start, try this website. It's called www.walkscores.com. This website will show you how walkable an area is, as well as the public transit option available. So that's walkscore.com, walkscore.com. So now that you have a clear idea of what you want, what's must have for you, let's move on to step number 5. Start searching for your home. Interview a few realtors and find the one who knows the neighborhood and can navigate you through the buying process. Then just let the fun part start. With technology, we all preview the pictures online these days. Some even have virtual walkthroughs, but nothing beats seeing it in person. I have so many clients saying that the picture looks better, or the rooms is smaller in real life. I have a story here. I once viewed a townhome with a client. They loved everything they saw, but at the last minute when I opened the curtain of the window in the living room, we find out there's a dumpster right in front of the window. So so that's a no deal. But my client and me, we just look at each other and had a good laugh. We figured someone just conveniently forgot to include that picture in the listing. If you have different idea of fun in mind, I don't blame you. But this next one would be a real deal. It's step number 6. It's about writing an offer and counter offer. So with some luck and the help of a realtor, you find a property that fits your needs and budget, may even have some extra features that you love. Now it's time to write the offer. We have a standard contract provided by BCFSA, but writing an offer is way more than just filling a blank. Then with some strategy, you most likely will get a counter offer, maybe a couple more times on back and forth. Then voila, the offer got accepted. Then we move on to step number 7, pending subject removal. In today's market or in the foreseeable future, all the offers will come with subject. Most common ones are subject to finance, subject to home inspection, or subject to satisfaction of reading the Strata bylaw. A good realtor will be able to offer you help and advice in this process. When you are all satisfied, you then give a written notice to the seller that the subject are removed. Then you get yourself a firm deal. Then we just wait for the step number 8, closing and procession day. Closing day is when the fund and title exchange hand. Then you have both sides, lawyers and banks, involved in this conveyance process. A detail-oriented realtor won't set a day on the weekend or holidays for obvious reasons. So usually the next day or two is the possession day. That's when you get a key and you're now in possession of your home and you live happily ever after. I hope you find this video informative and contact me if I could be of assistance. Again, I'm Mandy, your local realtor in Surrey and Fraser Valley. Hope you have a good life and see you next time.